as the reptile world cries out for more serious content. Here are some of their stories.
Dun dun.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Lowdown Live. We're going to get our Friday night started off right. We got some good clips, and we're going to give you some of our opinions on these clips. We've got the wonderful and talented Craig Bashcoder.
Thank you.
And me.
And Nikki, of course.
It's the in honor of last night's clutch conversations. I've got the hat off. I don't think I've ever streamed with the hat off. And with Kurt and me, we've got the Where's Baldo edition of the Lowdown Live.
Yeah, we can't do it as good as Mr. Kittinger can, though.
Yeah, we can't rock it like Kittinger does, for sure. Jason's
but you guys do a mighty fine job. And I really like that. Where's Baldo? You could also join the BBC, the Bald Breeders Club, with Bosa.
That's right.
He has shirts. They're shirts.
Just don't Google it, Billy.
And we've got Jeff from Bald Head Balls in the chat.
Mm-hmm. And
so
Keys.
Awesome. Yep.
He's in there. It's going to be Hair Down Friday, too. And people may not have hair to let down, but it's Friday. And after this, you get to go relax and hang out some more. But first, you have to get some information because you might have missed things this week.
Yep.
And we got a lot to unpack.
Shall we jump into it?
I think we should jump into it.
Go for it.
If
we've got highlights
any of you are... Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say we've got highlights from shows from this week that we're going to discuss. And in the description below, we have the links to all of the things that we're going to talk about. So without... Oh, it's that phrase you're not supposed to say. You're not supposed to say that phrase without further ado. Oh, because there's so much ado.
There's so much ado about
some
nothing.
People might, they might want to don't.
I know. That's how you know you're on YouTube, is when they say without further ado.
I know.
I blame Rogan. He's the starter of the ado.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mm-hmm. We've got to intro our first clip. So our first clip comes from the WisKeyBomb Network, and it's Breeding for the Future. And this week they had on Josh from, Mantooth?
Yep.
Josh Mantooth from Mantooth Captive Bred Reptiles. Great show.
Thank you. I'm going to start second guessing everything I know about names tonight. Don't worry. And he's talking in this clip about when things don't go as planned. So if you missed this episode, you need to go back to Sunday and check out this episode. So bear with us. I'm sharing the screen. Here we go. Can you see it?
Yep.
Here we go.
Like, yeah, that's nice. I'm not gonna try.
Yeah,
I'm like food.
I'm not going to change up anything I'm doing, but in a way, the way that you're explaining it, KG, it sounds like it would make sense because that would kind of be more typical of wild behavior.
Yeah, exactly. That's what he that was the way he explained it to me. Like in the wild, this is how it happens. It's a seasonal thing. They go every year at the same time. I was like,
It makes sense.
He said it's overwhelming.
Are plentiful.
Everybody lays within a month. You got 60 clutches in a month.
And
then you got 1,000 babies. And then you got this break. And then you start all over again. Yeah. So
crazy. But yes, I think that's kind of where I'm at too. Like some girls, it's like I say like 80-20. Like 80% of my girls go like at one time. And then you got little stragglers who just drop clutches randomly. You know what I mean? But for the most part, they kind of fit in with each other, and I think it's all just ties back to like weather and all that kind of stuff too. So 7 rats a month.
Yeah, and another thing you got to take into consideration, with that is not all girls are going to build at the same rate either.
That part too.
I've got certain girls that will go from 10 to 20, in 3 weeks like that, and I've got other girls that might take 2 months to go from 10 to 20.
10 to 20, yeah, that's true. That's very true. That's very true.
To me, that 10 to 20, that's the danger zone.
Yeah, they can still reabsorb through there. I agree with that one. Yep.
Yeah.
Got to be sensitive around those times.
Really, all of it is till they ovulate.
That's true. That's true. I had them at 25 and reabsorb, and I was like, "What is going on?" But Happens. It happens. Yeah, you got to follow them girls, man. You got to follow them girls. That's what everybody keep telling me. And I mean, that's what I'm going to use. That's what I'm going by.
That's great. Things don't always happen, right? The way we think.
No, not at all. Yeah, there was this episode had so much information in it. It was unbelievable.
He did drop a lot of gems. And the whole crux there is that, it's up to the animal, right? And we kind of have this schedule that we think is going to happen. We think, well, it's this month, therefore I'm waiting for these follicles to grow, and I think they're going to get to this size, and then we're going to have this happen on this day and this happen on this day. And even when we're planning for the year, we plan how many clutches we think we're going to have. But in truth, we don't know.
Right. He was talking about one specific female he's had, and he's had it for 5 years, been raising it for 5 years. He said it was a timid eater, and he tried getting clutches out of it. And he said he was on year 5 right now. So, and it's looking like it'll be this year.
Wow.
So yeah, I mean, if that was your keystone to a project, it makes you think that I should probably have a backup even for a female.
Mm.
I believe he was also talking in that earlier in the episode about how this one took him 5 years. And can you imagine that some people wait, they're in it and they're in it 2 years. And when things don't happen in 2 years, then they drop out, and how you just have to wait out the animal. But,
yep.
Pack the whole idea up and cancel.
Yep. Interesting. Yeah, we kind of get like, I'm gonna get a hatchling, and in 2.5 years we're gonna have 5.5 eggs.
Right.
And
Yep.
we just sort of assume that's what it's going to be like.
It's like the evaluation for the standard U.S. house, right? 2 kids and a dog.
Yep.
And 0.5 cats.
Yeah. I really recommend watching that whole episode. Josh is becoming a real good friend, and he and I are sharing a lot of information back and forth. As a matter of fact, he's going to come to my house here in a couple of weeks and just kind of go through my collection with me. And,
nice.
And we're gonna. One thing about him is that he spends so much time with his animals. He knows all his females. Like the other day, he knew 3 days in advance that this female was going to lay, and she laid. Because he's paying attention to every single animal. That's challenging to me because I don't know my females that well.
And that's another thing he talked about too earlier in that episode, and another good reason for people to go back and watch it, because I think it was that female that's finally going to be ready to breed this year, that's at 5 years. And he was talking about how when he got her, she was super flighty, and he put in all this work getting her used to being handled and getting used to him. And now she's more relaxed, and she's eating better, and she's getting ready to breed because he's put in the work with her.
Yeah, you got to put the time in. You got to be there every day. You can't be afraid. They'll be afraid. You just got to be 100%. You got to be committed.
Yep. And he really is.
It's a great episode to go back and watch. So next episode comes to us from Flawless Exoticz. So Flawless Exoticz, it's not a live, but it is a video that he put out this week that we'll put out about if you're just starting, what should you do? So
awesome.
It's not a very long one. I recommend watching the whole thing, but we'll take you to a clip of that so you can see.
They've been doing a lot of it seems like at least 3 videos a week, and they all have really good information that's helpful.
Sweet.
Definitely go check them out if you don't already.
Scrolling. There it is. All right.
The gene may be. All I'm saying is at the drawing board, before you start buying and shopping, start researching. Start looking at different combinations. start looking at different single genes of this, the availability, how many of them are available, how many of certain combos are available. Put pen to paper and figure out a game plan. I do believe, because the entire hobby is into the what ifs, so being ourselves included, we chase a lot of projects that have not been hit yet. The thing about it, though, is there's still a lot of snakes that have not been hit yet. There's a lot of, everybody kind of frowns on it, the world's first. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Hitting the world's first is pretty cool, but from even a small breeder's or keeper perspective, you should look at it as, okay, cool. For an example, if I have fire, let's say if I have a fire orange dream spot nose, and I want to breed it into super chocolates, or maybe a Wookiee, some type of combination, things that aren't just $10,000, $5,000, $2,000 snakes. There are still projects out there where you
stop right there. That's another one to go back and watch the whole thing. See, we're going to do teasers. We can't play the whole thing for you.
Yeah.
You got to go and do your homework.
Yeah, guys. That's what the links are for in the description, guys.
Go give them a follow, like, share, subscribe, follow, do all those things. But Will has some really great videos Will and Audra put out together. And that was one, even though it wasn't alive. I don't want to miss it.
Yep.
Did a great job.
It's great.
Do your research, know your projects. That's that.
Yeah, like he's saying, even a multiple codom snake is valuable in a breeding project, right? Mm-hmm. It might be a combination where you don't have, for instance, like paint. You might not have access to a 5 codom, even a het paint. Mm-hmm. You're going to have to make it yourself.
All right, you ready for the next clip? The next two clips come from the genetic canvas. So it's another WisKeyBomb production, but this week was about Ultramel, and it was with Austin from Ancestral Royal Pythons and Brock from Morphinary Arts. And that's another one. You got to go back and watch the whole thing, because we're only going to give 1 minute, 2 minute clips. And there's a lot to see.
And also Austin, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Austin was there.
Did I say the wrong name? I might have said the wrong name.
Austin from Royal Highness, His Royal Highness. Yeah.
Yes. We're at the end of Friday, so if I say someone's name wrong, please forgive me.
See Angel in the chat. What's up, Angel? Mission Morphs, John, Bosa, Morph Forge, Jamie. How's it going, everyone?
We're gonna see if this is the right one. Hopefully so. Yep, there we go. All right. And this particular clip is about how sometimes things don't turn out like you expect in combos. So here we go.
I can't remember who it was. They made like a GHI, leopard, something else. Like it was a stacked dark gene monarch that in Ultramel looks ridiculous. It's this super vibrant purple, super orange animal. And it looked brown. It looked brown. It just looked like brown.
I showed a comparison.
That's a short clip. See, you got to go back and watch the whole thing.
Yeah, sometimes you kind of go for this big stacked animal and it's just not there. And what happens is not what you expect, but that's why we do it, to find out whether or not it's going to be great. And in that case, or not.
Or not.
Yeah, and further down that clip, they talk about colors versus what we, ball python breeders call the colors. Like somebody will say orange, and it's really not orange. They'll use, descriptors like burgundy, and it's definitely not burgundy.
Mm-hmm. I remember this funny video that Chris Eaton did recently, where he says, "This is orange. This is not orange. This is purple. This is lavender. This is not lavender." It's pretty great. Pretty funny.
That was a great one. I forgot about that one. I'm glad you brought that up. That's a great one.
Chris says, "Night Shift Live." Yeah, it's Where's Baldo. That's what it is today.
It's where's Baldo? I like that. We're going with it every time
So
now.
we're all bailiffs.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Next up, we are going over to another clip from Genetic Canvas, except for this one takes us to undesirable genes. Dun, dun, dun. This is where we need that little thing from the beginning. Dun, dun, dun. I can't do it like you guys can.
Dun, dun,
All
dun,
right.
dun, dun.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Here it is.
If you remember, so in 2022, a double het clown pied was $900 female.
Yep.
A double het clown pied today is $100, and you could probably get it, for 75 if you make an offer. So I want you to use that example. A double het DG clown was 4K in 2021, and they're $100 now. Like, use that example and make sure you keep that in mind with what I'm saying. So if you buy an animal with trash genes that you don't want, that the market doesn't want, and then you go in the future and you breed it and make triple hets, that's cool. You're going to make shit that you can hold back, which is exactly what you want. But thinking that you're going to have any value out of the other triple hets to sell, especially when you look at male het, double het, triple hets, they have no value already. They're especially the normals, and then you throw in a spider, a pastel, a lesser, these undesirable genes, like, you're not going to sell them. You're not going to sell them for value. You can go wholesale them as pets. You can sell them for $20 pets at the show, but you are not going to get somebody that's going to come in there and pay you $150 for a spider, pastel, triple quad het when you can get them without those genes, or even with desirable genes at that price.
There you are.
Sad but true.
It's sad but true.
The males with hets are basically, not worth anything, because really, although the females can have hets or visuals, but your male really has to have visuals if you want to have any sort of odds, especially if you're dealing with doubles, like he was talking about with a double, like a clown pied.
Yeah, the real problem, right, is some of these genes that people call undesirable might be beautiful to look at, but your guarantee return on investment isn't there, because they can have the inner ear problem. They can be, fatal out of the egg, like the 8-ball complex stuff. It can be kinked. So it just doesn't make sense to go diving in for these undesirable genes if your outcome is to breed them.
We have a lot of friends in that, in like urban camo and things like that. And basically the story I hear is pretty much the same from everybody, just heartbreak, It's like very discouraging to, one friend has over 30 animals in the project, 20 some animals, 26. I want to say something like that, 36 maybe animals in the urban camo project, and has made like half a dozen ever.
That was one of the projects that we got. We had one male and 3 females, and we were so excited to make them. And then at first we were like, it's okay, it's worth it. And then it was, no, it's not worth it. We can't stand the heartbreak, let alone what it puts all the animals through. Wasn't right for us, but they're sure beautiful.
Yeah.
They sure are beautiful.
I watched another clip today from, I believe it was Mountain Man Reptiles. And he had a clutch, and he successfully hit an urban camo and I think 2 or 3 gray matters out of it. So he had really good odds, but I'm waiting for the update video to see how they all turned out.
Right. Exactly. At what cost is a lot of it? Some of these projects are at what cost? Not to knock anybody if anyone's working that project. It's just, it's just the reality of it. And I think it's important for us to talk about the realities and the stuff that's not all rainbows and unicorns in this business.
And sometimes your realities change as you're going too.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, there's a lot of knowledge. You just got to listen to it and be prepared to change.
You guys ready for the next clip?
Yep.
We have so many awesome people in the chat. We haven't even gotten to look at the chat because we're like
hyper focused.
We have a timeline, people. Hair Down Friday starts in 25 minutes. Well, not really, because they're always a little bit late, and we love
Oh,
them
you
for
can't
that.
say that. They're going to be on time now.
Okay, yeah.
You can't call them out. How dare you?
They're
But we
in the
can't
chat. Wiz, in case
We
they're in
have
the
to-
chat.
I know. We have to make sure we are off just in case, because now we've challenged them. Now you guys are gonna be on time now. You just watch.
We've got Dustin from DDM. We've got Jamie from Morph. We've got Randall from Lindworm, Exoticz.
We have Sophia Hansen.
Yes.
Who's that? Oh my goodness.
Exactly.
She's royalty. That's who she is.
Mm-hmm. In my
Oh my
house, for
gosh.
sure.
For sure. Well, in our house too. We love Sophia. We have Angel and we have Chris, and John from Mission Morphs. Did you say Bosa already? Because we can't forget Bosa. Oh my gosh. Okay.
AA
Next
Ron
clip.
number 1.
Oh, also, he has a link now to his shirts. There's a Ball Breeders Club shirt that you and Kurt both are going to
Awesome.
invest in. Our next clip comes from Royal Caribbean Exoticz, comes from Off the Plank, and this is Ash from
Morph Minded.
Morph Minded.
There's another guy. If you don't follow him, go check him out. He spits nothing but knowledge. Super nice guy.
Great.
All right, here we go. Let's see.
So I think of other projects right now that have been protected. And I can also see projects where I feel like that were not protected. We have plenty examples of them, you know what I mean, right now. We could look at something like, I love the Cosmos. You know what I'm saying? I've been staring at that thing for years. You know what I mean? So when you look and you see the value of it, it's like, damn, I can't afford no fucking $25,000, whatever, you know, whatever it is, I can't afford that. You
That's
know
a
what
really
I'm
good
saying?
example of a really
So,
highly protected project.
It's not protected yet. It's new. It's
no,
new.
I mean,
So
the guy
give me
who
a second.
developed-
Give me a second. When we're talking about protected, give me a second. When we're talking about protected, give me 1 second. When we're talking
You
about
guys, my parents used to fight like this. Stop.
Hashtag trigger
something
warning.
that is protected, like earlier, y'all mentioned females. If I were to give a male to somebody who doesn't give a damn about my project, they can breed it to how many females, correct? Is that protecting the project?
No.
Okay. So if I were to give the project to somebody that that already has a lot of projects and isn't going to further the project, is that protecting the project? At the same time, you want to see what the project can do.
That's great.
Another one, you're going to have to go back and watch the whole thing because there's more. But wait.
Yeah, that's like I feel like that was an over a 3-hour episode. It was good. It was long. It was a really good open panel discussion.
There was another podcast in the last week or so that Bob Vu was on, and he was talking about the voodoo gene. Was what show was that on? And he was basically talking about how he has protected that project. Like, he's got so much voodoo that he could really crash the market if he wanted to, but he doesn't. He protects the market because he protects all the people that have invested in it. And invested in him and invested in that project, and are kind of trusting that Bob's just not going to all of a sudden just go all 50% off with.
Don't do that.
With the voodoo.
Yeah, I think that was on. Was that Genetic Canvas from not this week, but last week? This week was
That's what I
Ultimate.
think
Last week was Voodoo.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
And Josh was on there as well, Mr. Mantooth.
He's a busy man.
He has been on everything in the last couple weeks.
He is everywhere.
He deserves to be everywhere.
He does. He's a nice human being.
So Ash, it originated with Ash talking about his codom Malice. And his way of doing it was working it, proving it out. And now he's just released a little bit to Levance. Somebody that's got a little bit more range and can start opening up the project to other things that Ash doesn't have.
By the way, Kurt has a cold. So if those of you are wondering
It's
why
exciting.
He sounds so lovely.
As DJ says, my Batman voice.
I could listen to Ash talk all day. His voice.
And I don't think you could ever not learn something if you listen to Ash all day long.
Yep.
No. All right. This next one, I'm not even going to explain this next one.
Just
this
play
next
it.
one, I just enjoy, people. Just enjoy it. Oh, why is it? Here we go. Oh.
All right. Would you rather fight a kangaroo or a badger?
I'd probably want to kick the shit out of the fucking kangaroo. I mean, like, it looks like, I mean, a badger, I think, I don't think you could fight it. You'd have to kick it or some shit. I'd rather box this thing and give it kicks to the head. I don't know.
That's
Not that I want to beat up a kangaroo, but I think it would give me a hell of a fight. You know what I mean?
It'd be a good watch,
I'd
too.
fuck him up so hard I'd stick his own head in his own pouch. You know what I mean? It would be. I'd be a billionaire.
Okay.
I really would.
I'm going to have to rethink that question in the future.
Yeah.
That was my favorite part. Jamie, we love you. I'm going to have to rethink that question in the future.
Yeah, so there is another episode. You have to go back and watch this entire thing if you missed it. Billy was on there sharing tips, giving away how he'd, do his preferred breeder or breeder 3 style, the right way to do it. And then he went in at the end and was talking about some of the issues he's having and issues other people might have when they try to go to a legitimate business with breeding rodents and snakes and
it was great.
Oh my gosh, there was so much stuff that most people don't even think about.
It was great. I think even those of us who are Billy addicts and listen to him all the time, this is a really great interview. This is an exceptionally good interview. And just so we say it out loud, this is the No ReMorph podcast on the Morph Forge Network. Shout out to John and Jamie and Jason. And that was great.
The best mofos around.
The best mofos. And they released mine this week too. I saw that just today they released my hot seat. So that's pretty funny. Go look at that.
But was your favorite moment in history watching the Titanic sink? Because I know a person whose favorite moment, like the moment that they'd go back to, not favorite moment, but the moment they'd go back to was being on the iceberg.
I didn't realize how morbid that was going to come across.
Oh, that was your answer, wasn't it?
That was my answer.
Oh, Kurt. At least Kurt could think of an answer. I couldn't even think of an answer.
I mean, it would be really cool to like see actually what happened. But yeah, I didn't think about, seeing
people die.
Yeah, tons and tons of people literally freeze to death and drowned.
No,
yeah, that was not on my list of things that I was thinking about.
Hi, Phil.
Before we hey Phil, before we do the last video, I want to do an honorable mention without the clip. Okay. Mm-hmm. And the honorable mention from me this week was it was Adam Sharaf, Proper Royals on
Balls and Things
with Wiz and Keys. And Adam during the show kept saying, why do you keep saying pause? Am I supposed to am I supposed to pause? Am I supposed to stop talking? And you got to see it. It's great. It's a little edgy, but you gotta see it. Everybody, including the chat, teaching Adam that basically pause is the equivalent of that's what she says. It was great.
That is great. I know. If only we had more time, but we can't have more time because
it's time.
This has to be concise.
It does have to be concise.
Every now and then there's something during the week that happens that's just so special that you just want to say bless your heart, as that's what you would say, right, Craig?
In the South we'd say bless your heart. He smells so bad, bless his heart.
Bless his heart. And every now and then there's just something that
I know a
comes
few of those
along
people.
that and this it's not a weekly thing because thank goodness these things don't come around that often. But every
we
now
feel
and
like
then,
these people deserve a special award from time to time.
and when the three of us put our heads together and thought of a special award, there's nothing more that we could think of than this special award.
Pull up the clip first, so people can see what we're talking about. Okay. See who we're talking about, if you will.
There's a special
Dun,
award.
dun. Here's our award recipient of the week, Mr. Caleb Hammer.
The award. Now remember, there won't be one of these every week, and that's why it's so special. Here we go.
Hee-haw is a fucking donkey.
It's the Donkey Award.
Donkey of the week.
The Donkey of the week goes to this wonderful conversation, but the unpacking of it was also really good on Clutch Conversations.
It was good. Talk about where's Baldo.
Yeah.
Here we go.
All I know is there's at least a couple really, really, nice looking guys in this clip.
That's right.
Yeah. The Donkey of the week. Here we go.
You know what they say, Craig? Can't grow grass on a racetrack.
Make kids so that you can sell them to others who want to make kids and sell to others. And he got sucked into that. But the pythons he bought have gone down 50% in value because apparently you can day trade. You can day trade the ball pythons on like a little market app.
On a little market app. Just a little market app.
I love like
Also-
how ball pythons have become a derivative. Like, what's the stock symbol? BALL? Or
Yeah.
that you day trade using a little app. Oh my
And it's a little
god.
picture of their eye and their tongue flicking.
Oh my god. That's so
Yeah.
But then it gets better or worse. I'm not really sure. Either way, this is why they're the donkeys of the week. Here we go.
Yeah.
So not only has somebody created a pyramid scheme of ball pythoning, right?
Yeah.
So you're ball pythoning, you're selling a few grams of
Yeah,
ball python
wow.
here, an eight ball python here, and then but then the
really is an
whole
eight
time
ball.
somebody's also whoever engineered this fucking thing also created an app where there's like almost a ball python coin market. So that's going up and down as well.
Yeah.
So you're basically driving around town with a backseat full of ball pythons waiting for the market to go up enough.
Yeah.
So you can pull over
Oh my god.
and put a couple ball pythons on somebody's tab.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's my exit strategy. I'm
Bring
gonna-
that up.
You got to pop.
What the fuck?
That's a good plug for Holdback Rack. That's a great photo. Hope she got some followers out of that.
Oh yeah.
I
He
hope
did use
Jessica
that
did
still. The I'm gonna start a meme coin, balls coin, and that'll be the meme coin, and then it'll be art imitating life imitating art.
You got to get like Dave Chappelle going, you got any more than ball pythons? Oh my gosh.
Wow, you got to play that clip again though. You got to play our award.
Hee-haw is a fucking donkey.
I'm doing it again. Hold on. I'm going to do one
Come on.
better for you all. Here we
Hee-haw is a fucking donkey. Hee-haw is a fucking donkey. Hee-haw is a fucking donkey.
You cannot watch that and not laugh. And Billy's going to go back and see that, and he's going to be like, these guys, they brought the donkey back. We did. It's back. Hee-haw.
That's great.
It's a
Hey,
donkey.
maybe they're talking about Forge Coin, which is actually a really cool marketing concept. They
Mhm.
might have been talking about trading Forge Coin, which a lot of people do.
It's got to be it.
Phil says non-fungible balls. That's great. NFBs. NFBs. That's great.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like if I was gonna go on a show that's got 30,000 plus viewers, I would at least try to get some facts straight before I just started spitting random crap that I knew nothing about.
But that's what they like to do.
I compared him to an unsuccessful what's that guy's name? The big financial guru, Dave Ramsey. Yeah. Like that's the same kind of idea, but Dave Ramsey just doesn't sit there and scream at people and tell them they're the dumbest person he's ever met. Occasionally you'll see him do it.
Occasionally. This whole pyramid scheme conversation gets me in the feels because I am an adult child of an Amway distributor. And so I grew up with multi-level marketing out the wazoo. Pretty funny that they think that's what's going on.
The trunk full of ball pythons beating in. And then in the clip from Clutch Conversations, they're like, and we drive around to gas stations. We legitimately do drive around to gas stations, but those are already set up gas station meetings. So take that.
Yeah, those are usually just for frozen rats.
Mm-hmm.
Last night's episode is worth a watch because I think it's real talk about that. It's real talk about the economics. They use this video as a jumping off point to talk about economics in the ball python world, and it's very refreshingly frank, and I highly recommend that you watch that episode from last night on the Herp Collectors Network,
which the link is down in the description. In fact, all the links from our clips from today are down in the description, and there's even a link for Hair Down, just in case somebody stumbles upon this and has never seen Hair Down before. They have to go watch that.
Yep. If it's not the first hit on your notifications right about now, it's in the link. Just go down there and click it. It'll take you right there to your regularly scheduled Friday night programming.
All you have to do is walk around your house saying Hair Down Live, and all of your Alexas. Oops, I just triggered everybody's. Never mind, sorry. She who must not be named. And then you go onto YouTube, and then it's going to be the first thing you see.
It definitely will. And you won't be disappointed. Just by the lack of hair. That would be the only thing you might be disappointed in. Anyway, but this is our first episode. There's going to be one every week. And if the people watching ever have any clips they want to send us, you can send us clips. Or if you have a live or something really cool that happens during the week, maybe you could send us that. Don't you think, Craig?
Yes.
And then we can share it.
Yep. So they should DM that to you, right?
Yep. Send that to me. Irresistible Pythons. Instagram. We'll share it on this fancy show with the donkey. Just don't be the donkey of the week.
Yeah, try not to earn that. That's a special award.
I've been a bad influence on Billy. He doesn't hee-haw anymore. I need to try to bring out the hee-haw on Monday's episode.
Oh, it's coming back.
Yeah, I have a feeling it'll be back in full force.
This was a lot of fun. Thank you to everybody. I mean, there's people just hopping in now. Thank you guys for hopping in and hanging out with us. Go check out Hair Down next. The weekend's just getting started. There's so much to see, and we'll unpack it next Friday. That's it. That's all.
Bye-bye.
Don't be a donkey.
Have fun storming the castle.
Ah, nice.